Hi everybody, it's Anne here from Positively Papercraft, and I'm back with another 10 sort of simple, easy kind of Christmas cards. Now, of course, I'm saying Christmas cards. You might decide to just make them in this way, but not for Christmas. They don't have to be Christmas cards, obviously, if you change the sort of sentiments or decoration or whatever. So I'm going to get straight into it. The first one, I've got a card base here. I'll have the sizes on my blog, and I have cut a piece of sort of matte, like a matte sort of mirror card, if that makes sense, and a piece of white card to go over the top. And the card is basically going to be like this. Okay, so, and I'm going to have a sentiment along the bottom. So this is the bit that we're going to do our sort of stuff to, if you like. So I've got, where is my ink? I'm going to be using, I thought I had it ready and I don't, Prize Ribbon Distress Oxide. Now this is dead easy to create a snowy sort of background, and I have got my little blending tool here, and I'm just going to cover this whole thing with Prize Ribbon. So just load it up and just start putting it on. Now I'm not too bothered about it being completely sort of even, because we're going to be creating like a snowy background, and you know, they're not perfectly sort of blue, are they? So I'm not worrying about that. They just cover it. There we go, that will do. So I've covered that, and I'll just turn this the other way so it's not distracting you. So we've got that. Now all I've got is some white paint here, any kind of white acrylic paint or anything, even white gesso, anything would do. I've got a little palette and a little brush. So I've just got the paint in there, but I just put a little bit of water in because I don't want it, you know, really thick. Just a couple of drops of water. And all I'm going to do is just literally splat this, okay? And that's it. So I need to let this dry, and I will be straight back. Okay, so that's virtually dry, and I've just put it on the silver layer. Now I'm going to use a snowflake. These are cut and lift snowflakes, so you can cut them in your cardstock as well. And I've cut it out twice, so I'm going to layer on there. This is these here, cut and lift snowflakes. I think you get 1, 2, 3, I think you get 4 or 5 maybe. I'll have these on my website if you want to have a look, but you can use whatever snowflake you've got. And I'm just going to quickly glue this on, and then I'm going to show you a one that I'd already made. Now what I've done for the inside is, that's what I mean, you can just cut it in your cardstock. So I've done that on the inside, which I think will look really nice. So if we get this together, that is going to go just on there. Or is it this way? This way, yeah. So I'm going to glue that down. And then I've got my little snowflake. And then I've got a little sentiment, believe in the magic of Christmas, which I'm going to stamp with some grey ink, and I'm hoping it works, otherwise I've ruined my card. So I'm going to pop it about here, just going to go for it. Please work. Oh, phew. There we go. And then to finish it off, just a few. No, I might just put one little dewdrop in the middle of the snowflake. So nice on the inside with your little snowflake there. That's the first one. Now I'll show you one I'd made originally, which is this one here. So it's very similar. I think I might have used maybe a lighter ink, I'm not sure. Another snowflake. I've got the same sentiment there. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, this next one, another dead simple one, but it looks lovely when it's done. I've got a little 4x4 card, that's just for the inside. I've cut a bit for the front and I've just rounded two of the corners. Now I've got some watercolours here. I think I've shared these before, they are beautiful. And I'm going to use this blue here, which is light sky blue. Yeah, I'm just gonna wet it a little bit first. Now I'm not using watercolor card. Oh, that was wet, so I don't want to soak it. I think I've just ruined it there actually. Oh, I may have to cut that again. Anyway, and I'm just gonna do a sort of little wash on it, that's all. Dead easy. Just sort of in the middle. I'm not even, you know, bothered really what it looks like, just a wash. Basically that's it. Now I'll show you one I did this one originally, and I think the card may have been a bit thicker, but it doesn't matter. That's the kind of thing that I wanted. So we've got that. I've cut a snowflake twice actually. I've layered two pieces together just to make it a bit thicker, and that's going to just sit on the front like that. So what else I was going to do, I was going to do the same in the inside. So I don't know why I've put that away. Just get a little bit again and just a light little wash just inside, just something like that. It honestly doesn't have to be anything special. So that'll be for the inside. So I am gonna pop this on here, but first I'm gonna stamp a sentiment. So I know I'm gonna have the snowflake about there, so I want the little sentiment somewhere here. So I'm gonna do it in that grey again. And that just says warmest greetings, which I'm gonna have about here. And then in the inside I'm gonna stamp, which I did get it ready, a Merry Christmas to you and your family. That's gonna go in the center of the card, in the middle I mean. So I'm gonna stamp that there. Okay, and then it's just a case of getting this together. But yeah, I think the card I've used here has been thicker. This is 300 GSM. I think this might be 250, so it hasn't took to the water as much, like it hasn't liked the water as much, but it's okay. So there we go. That is so simple. There's the first one I made, and then inside we've got another little watercolour wash in there, and I just put some sparkly pen stuff on there, but I don't think you can, the camera's not picking it up. But yes, so simple, so pretty. So we'll move on to the next one. Okay, so the next one I want to show you what I made. I made this, and basically I'd cut a C out, I'd hung a little charm on it, and I'd stamped the as if that was the capital C for the Christmas wishes. So we're going to do something similar to this, but there's another idea for you there. So again, I think this is a 4x4. I've got a piece of card, and what I'm going to do this time is I've took some tumbled glass ink, and I'm just going to check that it hasn't got, yeah, that's okay. And I'm just going to do what I've done here, just a sort of little soft sort of circle of ink. Now, don't worry about it being perfect, because we're going to do something different this time. So what I've got is a snowflake stamp. This is them here, you get loads of them. I've got these two, and I'll put the link, or you can use whatever stamps you've got. And I'm going to stamp this snowflake here, but I'm going to heat emboss it. So I'm just going to rub it over with this embossing powder stuff. Alright, so you can see that. Then what I'm going to do is so I've cut two little C's out again, but I've got the C die, and then I'm going to cut it out of here, sort of just in the centre, I think, just like that. So I'm going to quickly, I might tape it down. So I've cut it out, and obviously we are going to sort of attach it back in, but lift it up on foam pads. So I'm going to round two of the corners again. Right, just like that. And then this will obviously sit on the front. So we'll have that on there, and then I'm going to prop this up on some little foam pads. So what I'm going to do a few little splatters on this with just some sort of black watercolour. So just this, you can use your watercolours for that as well. So I just need to let this dry off. But as I said, why I've cut the two white ones is because I'm going to glue them together, and I'm going to glue that one on the top so it makes it more sort of, you know, sturdier, and then stick that back in there, and we just got to stamp a little sentiment. So I'm going to let this dry, glue these three together, and I'll be back. Alright, I just want to show you what I did. So I just stamped Cozy Christmas Wishes in black ink just there. I didn't go for what I did with this one, but as I said, this is just another idea. So I've got some pads on, and then I'm gonna put this there we go. That is so pretty. And then if you want to add, you know, you could add a couple of little dewdrops or something. I've got just a plain piece for inside, which I'm just gonna attach that on. Brought one up to now, but there's two little ideas for you there. So we'll move on to another one. Alright, this one we're going to do a sort of pink kind of Christmas. So what I've got is a card here, and I've cut a strip of white card and some silver sort of card underneath it. So we're just going to work on this little strip. Now all I'm going to do is take some, this is Kitsch Flamingo, and I'm just going to cover the whole thing with this pink ink. So we've covered that. Now those same snowflake stamps, I've put them in my little stamping platform, and I've already lined them up, so they're just going to kind of stamp randomly. Now I'm going to emboss these now. So again, I'm going to go over with this little powder thing, just because I don't want ink all over my little embossing buddy thing. So I'm just going to use this. Hopefully it'll be okay. It worked before, so and then I'm going to put it in here, and I'm just going to stamp it with Versamark. Now I'm going to emboss this with white powder. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is get some more of that white paint, and I'm going to do a few more white splatters on here as well. Worry if your embossing's not perfect, because you're going to be putting splatters on it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So we have that. I need to let that dry, and then I'll be straight back. Alright, so that's dry, and I have attached it to the silver card. Bit of glue peeping out there. Right, so what I'm going to do is I've got a card. This is going to literally just get stuck somewhere like that. I've cut out Merry, which I'm going to have along the side, and then I've got a Christmas, which I'm going to stamp underneath. So I want this flat because I'm going to be putting this sort of over the top, so I'm just going to put some of this on. Then I'm going to pop a few of these little sort of pink enamel dots on, and that is so simple to do, but I think that looks so pretty. I've just got a piece of plain card for the inside, which I am just gonna attach in here. I think that's so pretty. So let's move on to another one. Okay, so this one I've cut I think this is 5x5 card, and then I've cut a 4 3/4 square piece of card. Now I'm going to use this beautiful die here. It's like a sort of snowflake, but you get 4 pieces, and you don't have to use them all. So these will obviously cut it out, but I don't want to cut it out, I want to cut it into the card. So I'm going to line it up like this, and then I'm going to use this bit here so it will only cut this into the cardstock. So I'm going to run this through and I'll be back. So that's what we have. That is beautiful. Really like this. I'll put the link for this as well. So now what I did was I created another one of them sort of snowy backgrounds. I did exactly what I did before, but I just used a bit of lighter blue in the middle, and then I worked around with the darker blue, put some of the paint splatters on, and this is going to go behind here. But before I do that, I've got some more of tumbled glass here, and I'm just going to sort of go around just very lightly. See, and I'm going to put that underneath it. Yeah, that's so pretty. And then again, I am going to round, I think I'll round all of the corners. There we go. That is so simple but so pretty. It really is. And I think I will put one of these in the middle of the little snowflake. That is gorgeous. So we'll move on to another one. Okay, this one is really simple. So I've got a card here, and I've got a layering piece for the top, which is just a little bit smaller. Now I've got this snowflake die here, which only cuts into the card. So I'm going to cut that out, and then underneath I'm going to put some red card. So I will quickly cut this out. Of the gold watercolors here, and I'm just gonna do some gold splatters. there we go. I just stamped sparkly greetings. Inside I've got the red, and that is just so easy but so pretty. So we'll move on to another. Okay, so I think this is the 7th one. Right, now what I've done is I've got some of this masking sort of stuff. I don't even know where I got this from. It's like a masking paper that you can reuse, but you could just cut out a piece of like copier paper and just stick it down with some tape, but I wanted to see what this is like. So I've got a card, I think this is 4 by 5 3/4, and I've cut a circle out of the tape. So the tape, I think you just peel it off. Okay, so I've got some tumbled glass. And this is going to go in the middle. So I'm going to focus on the middle of this. And then I'm going to come in with the prize ribbon. Let's get my little thing out again. And this is going to go around the outside. And then I'm going to get my little splatter things again, just some more white paint, splatter them on, and then I'll do that and I'll be back. Okay, so I think it's virtually dry. I just did a few splatters. Now what I'm going to do actually, I found this stamp set. Now I'm telling you, this must be 5 years old. I think it was one of the first I got when I started crafting, and it was free in a magazine. So just use what you've got if you can. And there's these little trees here, and I'm going to just stamp them there in black, and then I might put a sentiment along the bottom. So I'm going to leave this tape on, and then I'm going to get my stamping platform. That was my worry. So it's worked, but it's ripped all the card, and it's supposed to be low tack masking, so I think you may be better off just using a blooming piece of copier paper. I mean, I'm sure you've seen them. I'm not saying they're all the same, but I wouldn't buy that again, because now that's ruined the card. But that was what I'm aiming for, so I'll continue to finish it even though it's ruined. I'm not doing it again, but yeah, I'm quite upset about that actually. So this will go on the front. I'm going to round a couple of the corners. I'm going to round all of them actually. I had a feeling that was going to happen, you know, because it's really sticky. But no, I'm not impressed with that stuff. I've got that on there. And then do you remember that beautiful die we used for this card, I've just took the smaller piece and I've cut it out the middle, and that will go in the inside, and you've still got room to write your little message. And then I'm going to get one of the sentiments from this set, which is wishing you the best Christmas ever. Done really well. There we go. You get what I mean, but I would just use it seems like it's took like a top layer of the card away with it actually. Yeah, this was it here. I think, I'm not sure, I think it might be, I'll have a look at the other bit of the packet, but I think it was Lisa Horton masking paper or something, but unless I'm doing it wrong, but I don't like it at all. It's completely ruined that. So we'll move on to the next one. Alright, I think this is number 8. This is just going to be a little 4x4 card. So what I'm going to do is, I've got this die here, which is from the festive frames, and I'm going to put it on here, but I'm not going to cut it, I'm going to emboss it instead. So I'll get the machine. I've done that. That is beautiful, just embossed. Could have been a bit straighter, but that's okay. And then some more tumbled glass. All I'm going to do is just put a little bit just around. So I've got my card base, which that will go on here. I'm going to stamp Merry Christmas because I'm going to have some of this thread stuff. Now I'm just going to literally have it on there and have it hanging down. So I'm going to get a little glue dot. That is so pretty, but so simple. So let's move on to another one. Alright, this one, what I've done is I've got a card and a layering piece for the front. Then I've took a piece of paper and I've just used the same 2 blue inks I've been using, but I've kind of gone from dark to light and sort of blended it a bit, and then I've just put some more of the white paint on as splatters. So this will go on the front like this, but then I've got a little piece of vellum, okay, and I'm going to wrap it around this piece with a sentiment on. So let me see. So this will go on here. I will just wrap this around. So simple, but so pretty. So I think we've only got one more. Alright, the last one. This is going to be really simple and easy. I've got a little 4x4 card base. I've got a 1.5 inch square that I've just cut with my paper trimmer. That's going to go down the bottom. I've got a tiny little snowflake which I'm going to cut out of this square. But before I do that, I'm going to put some of the tumbled glass ink just sort of around the bottom of the card. So easy. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need loads of stuff. You can literally just do that. And as I said, if you wanted to put it back in a different colour or something, or you could, what you could do is turn the snowflake the other way so it lines up differently, like that, and you could just glue that on the top, which I think looks quite pretty. So we'll get them all in. So we've got these, there we go. So I love them. That's really pretty. I think that's my favourite. Shame that one got ruined. There's the one we've just done. That's beautiful as well. So are them. I love these two, and these are really, see, as we put some snowflakes inside, didn't we? Yeah, I love the snowflake in there. So yeah, they'll all be on my blog. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's given you some inspiration. That's what it's all about. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll have all the links underneath for any products you might be interested in. So take care and bye for now.